failure. It's the right thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. That's what makes you a champion.
I can't wait for Danny to go, just go to the gym.
How's the bicycle going, Daniel?
Mate, I'm a fucking legend around town now. Just fucking doing endos and shit. All sorts, mate. I'm a downhill hero.
Down syndrome hero.
Yeah, so for anyone watching this, like, it's been a while because of my internet mostly.
Yeah.
On the rare occasion that Ryan decides to turn up, the podcast hasn't worked anyway.
Fashionably late. I'm just a week late, that's all. That's all it is.
Or you're a week early for next week.
Exactly. Science.
Science.
So, as you can see, we've got a bit of catching up to do. So we don't have a guest this week.
Fuck a guest.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
Fuck 'em right in the pussy.
Right in their fucking dung funnel.
Oh, ball. Sorry.
Dan, did you go up to up north this weekend?
No, it's next weekend.
Oh yeah, you're going to Durham, aren't you?
Yeah, gonna train with the commander of Nasty.
Fucking sick.
He's already.
What?
Are you filming it?
Yeah, I'm flying up with Jay.
Oh, sick.
From Bristol, so he's gonna park his big fat trunk out in the little garage in the lyrics of Cardi B, and then we'll get a taxi to the
taxi?
To the airport.
Oh, and then fly to America.
We're gonna fly to Newcastle via America.
Yeah, understandable.
We're gonna pick up Cardi B. Well, we're actually gonna fly to the Ukraine because it's cheaper.
Yeah, understandably.
Yeah, so we fly to the Ukraine and then to Newcastle because it's cheaper than just going straight to Newcastle.
Just going to show them your guns.
I'm hoping that I can inject some sort of plutonium into my biceps.
Yeah.
And just get massive.
Massive.
Massive,
obviously. Yeah, that'll be a sick video. Really, really excited for it. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
How is the off-season treating you, Dan? It's only been a couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was going really well until
this podcast, because I can't eat my food.
Yeah. Well, obviously, like, I don't do performance-enhancing drugs, but if I did, I might have messed it up, and I've grown a second arse.
Oh,
no. I've fucked it up somehow, and I actually, like, even sitting down is horrendous. I'm allergic to ibuprofen, so I can't take any anti-inflammatories because it dissolves my bowels.
Oh.
And I don't know if anyone else has done this, but I felt like really fluey and just absolute dog shit.
Oh.
Like, oh, mate. So I went to train legs today, and it was literally like the shittest leg session ever. So
how bad are we talking? We talking inflammation, or we talking potential thingy-majiggy?
Well, I'm gonna play that out for another day before I then start thinking about going to see someone.
See a special doctor.
Well, the thing is, I think if it is an infection, it doesn't get better. So if it's like better tomorrow, then you're all right. Like an infection just gets worse and worse and worse and worse until you die.
I once had it in my tricep, and it was one of my ex girlfriend's birthday, and I booked a hotel, paid a fucking fortune. I was skint, and my arm was just like absolutely massive, but it looked amazing in photos for like one night. I was like, I'm just gonna roll with it. The next day, I was like, I'll have to leave early. She's like, where are you going? And at that time, I couldn't really explain to her that I'd injected my tricep at the gym in a scruffy old fucking room with some guy that didn't know what he was doing.
I mean, if I could do this like all over my body before show, that'd be sick.
Yeah, just like a bubble, like a cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look like I've got one arse that's like
Have you never
Scottish
put- have you
Titan.
seen is it Nord? What's it called? Nordotropin? Is it not Nordotropin? Is it? With the inflammation, they do it I remember Nicholas Vulliard did it in his shoulders. Remember that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but I know the one you're on about because I looked at it.
What is
Yeah.
it? Is it the Mediform?
No, it's literally instant.
Yeah, it causes
It's not the bonus stuff, is it?
Potentially, but it's the stuff that causes a reaction and causes swelling. So I looked at it for my pec, but then obviously it doesn't really work because
it's just a risk. It's a massive risk. It can work, and I've seen it work really well. But then, if it goes wrong, you're fucked, and all your prep's just fucked up, innit?
But
I'm up for it.
so just don't. You could make yourself like you could capitalize on this, Dan. You could do a Greg Valentino with the needle, and just take videos of yourself pulling the infection out. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes.
Stab in the butt.
I'll do a day in the life of an infection's butt.
Yeah.
And then
you could just like lie and say you got bit by a horsefly or something. Make it up.
Fucking, I tell you, have you actually been bitten by a horsefly? Because I have, and I'm horrendously allergic to them. And it gave me like.
What are you not allergic to?
Anal.
Anal, yeah.
I had like a reaction, and you know when like fat kids have like dimples where the knuckles are, they go in instead of out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that. It's a fucking really weird wank.
Like a scene off Nutty Professor where he turns back into
Yeah.
out his lip. Amazing.
So I had an abscess years ago in my tricep, and I did the short head instead of the long head. And being lazy, because I don't like doing them, instead of sticking to the recommended 1 mil, I ended up going for the 2.5 mil. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's not fine.
Yeah.
I had a severe infection, right? But at the time, I told my missus that it wasn't an infection and that a rolling pin would be fine. So we were on the kitchen counter. I had a towel in my mouth.
Where did the rolling pin go?
Rolling pin up and down the fucking tricep, and you could hear it crunching. What I didn't
spreading the infection around.
What I didn't tell her was if that pops, that I may have an infection that could kill me. But yeah, I didn't die.
If you'd have told her that, she would have been like, definitely, like,
had it.
Absolutely killing you. Amazing.
Yeah. So apart from that, everything's all right. I actually went up 7 pounds in weight this week.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's obviously not going to be muscle, but it seemed to be like stagnating. I mean, it's just one day to the next or whatever, but.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant 7 pounds from that situation. Like.
Yeah. I mean, it might be something to do with it, to be fair. It does look like it weighs about 7. It is a child size. But but yeah, so off seasons, like, yeah, just the food is fucking me off already.
What are you up to now, Dan? Calorie-wise?
I don't actually know exactly, but it's got to be heading to 7.
You stick to a lot of like raw foods, I guess, right?
Yeah, like a lot of rice, basically. A lot of rice. I have actually been eating muffins.
Like pre-workout or post-workout?
No, just
general.
Just general, like, yeah. I don't know, I hit like a certain level of like clean food. And then it's like raisins.
Yeah, I do that.
And maybe some honey.
Apple juice.
Like, and then it's like Nutri-Grain bars. Like once you're eating like 800 grams of carbs of rice or whatever, then it's like.
Do you think it's beneficial to go that far up in whole clean foods as such? Or do you think you should hit your fiber content and then just add additional denser foods on top? What do you think the benefit is from eating so much rice? If it's obviously a lot, obviously everyone wants whole foods, but is there not a certain point of diminishing returns of where it's just so hard to digest that amount of food?
Yeah, I think it all depends on your personal metabolism, really. And you know, it's like everyone's different. The nutrient partitioning for everyone's different. Some people are much more efficient and stuff like that. And also, have you got the body type where you can get away with it? Yeah. I can pretty much, the limitation for It's just how much can I actually eat it?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I've never really got like fat. I've never been like fat. But the limitation is just I just get liquid bum syndrome. I can't digest it, and then I can't fucking train.
Yeah, and then if you're not digesting the food and processing it, there's no point.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found that with myself when I go so high on food. I like to get, say, 5-6 clean meals in, but like 100 gram of carbs from like fibrous stuff, oats, your general stuff. And then around training, you can add an intra, then post-workout where you can take in some more sugars. I found that works better for me just to be able to get to that. I think one time I was on about the 900 gram of carbs, but that was with James Llewellyn. And I'm nowhere near as big as you, but it just literally could not fucking, he had me on like, I'm sure it was like 400 or 500 grams of oats. And then when I worked it out, the fiber content on that was just like a fucking lead balloon in my stomach. Couldn't move.
Yeah.
In my eyes, it's pointless, really.
My breakfast, I just share my breakfast is 100 grams of oats, 100 grams of cream of rice, 50 grams of honey, 50 grams of raisins, 50 grams of almond butter, 250 grams of egg whites, and 2 scoops of protein. It feels like a fucking eating challenge, every day, and that's meal fucking 1. Mm-hmm. And I'm not. Some people wake up hungry. That's not me. I wake up feel like I want to throw up. Like I wake up and want to throw up. That's like my go.
I'd have to drink that.
Yeah, I drink mine. I drink it every time.
I
put fresh, like frozen berries in it. You can't taste the eggs though. That's not too bad. It's not too bad.
I've never had a problem with the egg whites. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, egg whites raw." It's like, what do you think cake's made out of? You fucking mom.
Yeah. Sugar as well, and I like marzipan. Just give me a block of marzipan.
I actually really like marzipan as well.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
We just become best friends.
Yeah, I think
we. Fuck me. Okay, Ryan, how was your off season, pal? We obviously haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. I obviously.
Mate, I've even got the t-shirt on. I'm that dedicated. I've got the t-shirt on this week.
Even Dan doesn't believe you.
Yeah.
Good chance. But yeah, how's the off season going? But are you pushing?
It was going well, and then last week, when was it? Sunday. It was Sunday. I went training normal back, but I went to a different gym. It's going to sound really petty, but it's like a different setup, and I went and did bent over rows, and I don't know whether when you get giddy and you start getting pretty strong, and you just push it a little bit too much in a sense of like the set before and maybe the deadlift like the week before, and it just accumulates. Got to like third rep, and my lower back just went, and I couldn't walk. I was like, fucking hell. So this week's been just resting. I've not really trained, so I've just that rest day food. So my weight's down a bit, but again, it'll just come back. I've got a long off season, but I'm trying to give myself short-term goals, because if you think, I've got 10 months, but it'll be fucking gone like that. So I just keep every month I try and set myself a little like weight goal. But for me personally, I kind of have to get away from just chasing weight, because at the end of the day, I just need proportions. Like I just need to bring up my back shots, and if I get so like fixated on weight, I can run the risk of just blowing my waist out for no reason, because I want to be like massive or whatever. Doesn't really matter.
Or you could fuck your back up.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what it's like. I keep trying to tell myself, like, you're one lift, like literally one lift away from fucking yourself up. Like, you have to just play it smart. But we all do it, don't we? Once you're on cycle, you're heaviest you've ever been, and you're getting strong, you just think you're invincible, and then next minute you're fucking led there like, oh my god, can't fucking move.
I must say it's been a few years since I felt invincible. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm getting on a bit. Those days of being able to like eat bricks and run through walls, they're like, yeah.
My invincibility didn't last very long. I tore my pec second year into bodybuilding. So.
I have torn my quad before, but it actually favoured me because my legs were too big for my upper body, so it just allowed me to fucking catch up. But at the time, it was the most horrendous thing. I love training legs, so it was horrendous for me. But
are you having treatment this week now to help with it, or are you just resting?
To be fair, mate, I have treatment twice a week, every week, just because in my mind it's prevention rather than cure. Or it didn't fucking prevent nothing. It's like, for fuck's sake, I want my money back. Fucking hell. So,
but maybe you would have been quadrispased if you hadn't had the treatment. It'd be even worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, Johnny's on prep.
I'm on prep.
Looks good, man. Looks really good.
So
It's
10
coming.
weeks. 10 weeks.
11 weeks yesterday, so there's time.
How are you finding it?
Good. I'm enjoying it. The hardest thing I'm finding at the moment is I'm suffering really badly with migraines. So there is the odd day where I have to just
Is that the
sack
new
stuff.
bird or prep?
I was like, the worst thing is, bud, right? I had COVID, and the day that I had the clear to come out from isolation from COVID, they just started, and they've just not stopped. Some days it's so bad that I have no appetite, which, don't be wrong, is helping with prep. I know that my metabolism feels like it's going, but I don't feel hungry because I feel so sick with a migraine. But then I'm finding it hard to stay in the gym for any real length of time. But as well, some days I'm in bed and I can't get up and do anything. So that's the hardest thing. But given all of those things and like the COVID and all that good stuff, it's going well. It's basics. Dan's just drilling the basics, and it's working, you know. And I'm cut from the same cloth as Dan, you know, just basic, you know, fucking clean nutrition, training hard, and just managing it from there. There's no massive science behind it, and the benefits from a long time away from stage are showing. You know, the last time I competed, I was like 99 kilos, and at the moment I'm 115 kilos with not like loads to come off, you know. So I'm happy.
I think when we actually downplay what we do, because it's actually I was having this discussion today, it's actually applied science, because there's loads of science out there, but obviously Dan's done this thousands of times and prepped hundreds and hundreds of people. It's actually applied science, because you have so many different actual optimal case studies to go from, rather than reading it in a study that they're untrained, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and this amount of protein made them gain 1 pound. It's like, for me, it doesn't represent us as an actual, like, bodybuilders who are on anabolic steroids who train for 10 years. So, like, realistically, it is science.
Also, you know your own variables. If you look, a lot of the stuff that you see in studies that everyone's fucking having an absolute wank over, like someone's experience of, like you said, application is through your target demographic is over time more useful. The studies of Gen Pop should be like considered, but they're not actually really applicable, and the variables that aren't noted in the studies are usually huge like factors in why things didn't work. It's just there's not enough information on the background of the demographic of tested individuals. That's why, you know, if you're thinking of being a coach, go and help someone, help your mate, help yourself, go and help someone else, like do it for free for a bit, like, and start gathering that information and stuff like that. Read this stuff and then try it on yourself first. I'm glad that I didn't have a coach to start with, because I could fuck around doing it myself for a bit.
No, but I think the point I'm getting at really is more so that Dan's methods align with what mine would have been. My biggest problem is I get too close to it, so I'm going, right, I've got to fucking nail this.
I was just about to ask, how do you find, like, for you, Dan, how do you find prepping yourself, like, and you, Johnny, like, in the past when you prep yourself, how did you find it?
I fuck myself. So I'll come in, I'll win a regional, look decent, and then I'll be like, right, British, I've got to do better. Well, how do I do that? Well, I do loads more cardio and eat less. Oh no, you look like a fucking shriveled AIDS baby. Like, that was my thing. It's making emotional, like being reactive, which is the worst thing to be in life at all, like anyway, but making decisions on emotion, being reactive to data that isn't real, that is feelings, and not being able to be true to yourself within the cyclical analysis period. So yeah, I'd like look really good for one show and then I'd lose my head and be like, I've got to be better, and always look worse at nationals, always. And having a coach like Amph, who is obviously very knowledgeable, and I've learned loads of stuff from him, one of the main things was to pull me back. Like, if I've done a regional and looked all right, which didn't happen at Graftism, we kind of went the other way around on that one. But if I look all right, then usually between the looking on and then the British is basically doing fucking nothing, like less, doing even less, you know.
Yeah, I think for when I prepped myself, it was a little bit easier for me because obviously I had a weight cut. I had a weight to meet, so I had to be at that weight. The only thing I found difficult was once I'd made that weight, the actual like carving up process. And literally, luckily, I had fucking 3 years in attempting at it to just fucking trial every single way of shit loading. And eventually, it came down to just eating fuck all. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to run in because the actual information I got back on the day I got back from the judges was like, it sounds stupid, but you're too bodybuilding, you was too big. So I was like, right, I'll just fucking come in real small then and like streamline as fuck. But now again, because there's that pressure and I can be X amount of weight, it's deady. It's so much easier to just let someone else do it.
Yeah.
And that's the argument I always have when people say, "Oh, why do coaches have coaches?" It's like, oh, fuck off.
It's exactly what Dan said, though. It's the emotional thing, I find. My biggest thing is from day one, it was drilled into me: condition, right? So there's only one way to get into condition, and that's to suffer. And my biggest problem when I'm coaching myself is unless I'm suffering, I think I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's not the case.
Optimal, though, is it? You know,
exactly. My biggest problem is I've always come in as a smaller super heavyweight. You know, I've always been over 100 kilos if I didn't overdo it. And I just end up coming in sometimes overdoing it to the point where I don't even nail condition. I've just lost a ton of tissue.
Yeah, so, you get that in between. That's the shittest place to be. To be honest, that's why I pulled this Arnold prep, because I wasn't fucking peeled and I wasn't fucking big. And I was like, this looks fucking dog shit. You know, like,
what was that? It's interesting. Was that like cause I think of like what you've got like how much food you're eating and you've got the cardio that you're doing and stuff. And I kind of think of that as like the toolbox.
Yeah.
Did you just find like, you were like, my toolbox is a bit empty and I don't know where the fuck to go with this?
For the Arnolds?
Yeah.
No, what it was I just, I dieted down it was a little bit like a spare of the moment. I was meant to have a year off, but you get this fucking golden ticket like Willy Wonka and think, wow, I'm going to do the Arnolds. It's an opportunity. So I was like, I can't miss this opportunity. And I honestly thought I might be good enough. I thought if I diet down, I still might have got some decent amount of tissue. And as I was dieting down and I got to about 3 weeks out, I just looked at my physique and thought, I'm going to be realistic about it. And I'm not as good as these guys. Obviously, it's not that I care about who else I was against. It was like, am I pro worthy? Am I going to make a pro debut? And people go, fuck me, yeah, he's got a chance to do X, Y, and Z, or he's got a bright future. Or they're going to go, it's not quite there yet. And I couldn't have that where I looked at my shots and was like, I don't look any different than I ever have, because I hadn't had that time. I'd had about 3 or 4 months to put muscle on, and I just hadn't put any muscle on. So I just pulled it. I was like, I'm not fucking, obviously everyone giving me shit for it, but it is what it is. I don't want to display a physique that's not fucking, you know what I mean, worthy of what I think it could be.
It's the same in my mind. I think it's the same for anyone. If you're not 100% sure, just don't do it. Like, the worst thing you can do is get up there and regret it. Like, there's always time, there's always other shows. And I think in my mind, doing a show just because you feel like you're obliged to do it is the wrong reason.
Well, I think accepting the invite was probably like the actual mistake. It wasn't on your terms.
No, but again, at the moment, it's hindsight and it's a great thing. But it's one of them things where I was like, you know what, first Arnold. But then what was most annoying was people come up to like, what do you mean you would have got, like, first or second? I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, my issue was it wasn't beating anybody else. It was displaying the physique, and it always has been. That's like, for me, it's never about, oh, I want a pro card. It's about having a pro-worthy physique. And then now it's like I want to be a first call-out pro-level physique. So
I'm waiting for the Dan routine. The number one way to not win.
Yeah. Is to not turn up.
Sure, yeah, it is, man.
And like,
I
do love these things where people like make comparisons. As like, if I was there, then I was there, but you weren't fucking there. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
doesn't matter.
What was that? Who's that chef guy, Gio or whatever?
Yeah.
What did he say? If my mother had a saddle, she'd be a bicycle. That's what I think about as well. It's like, you know, I could be, you know, if only I'd trained for 10 years, I'd be an astronaut. Yeah, but you didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, isn't it?
Absolute, like, but a lot of people do just sit and think about what ifs. And actually, sometimes that's enough for people. That's bodybuilding's enough for people.
I
I could.
have this thing where my biggest fear is being in the gym and going, I could have been, and I should have been, and I would have.
Mate, I say that as well.
Fuck that.
I say that. I'm
never going to be that guy.
Just, like say I could have done this or whatever. I would say, like, wherever I end up, whatever, it's not, I haven't got many years left in me. At my genetic potential, I reached my max, and I did this, and that was it, and I couldn't have done any more.
That's exactly the mindset, isn't it? Once you can have no regrets of what you've done, and you think, I put everything into it, it is what it is. Like, you don't want to sit there and be like, oh, well, it was this, or it was an injury, or I was like, fuck off.
Oh, it's like when people say, like, oh yeah, it was great, and then a week out, and it's like, no, but you have to get the week out right. That's actually that's body. You have to actually.
You have to peak. That's bodybuilding.
Yeah. You can't just turn up like.
No, the best one I hear is, but in fucking KFC or wherever the fuck they was, TGI's after in the toilets, I look mint. It doesn't matter.
That's my favourite. Yeah. So rare that people have the balls to eat the KFC before the show.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, on the Arnold's, I did eat a McDonald's breakfast.
Mate, I've done every single way after.
And it actually looked all right. I thought it was definitely full.
My routine and my habit used to be Burger King an hour before stage, and it always did.
Yeah, Five Guys or Burger King before stage kind of works, but I think you're risking as well. It depends on what diuretics you're using, doesn't it?
You've got to know. You've got to know you can do that. If you're naturally a fat cunt, like, you're gonna fuck that up.
I did it when I made weight, and I kind of thought to myself, I can't fuck this up now, and I must have ate like 4 or 5 muffins. I thought I'm just gonna fill up, because in my mind I was like 185 £, like 3 days out. So I thought I'll just get back to 185 £. I looked absolutely shit. You know when you have that film of water and you're just like, what is this? Like, fuck's sake. But yeah, it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah. It's definitely, I would say, for people starting out, don't do that.
Yeah. Just
do the safe thing. Yeah, do the safe thing. I always run a carb up like 4 days out. So I'll do like a 2-day high day, and then I'll have like a 2-day like balance out to see. So I'll spit on purpose, and then actually present when I'm just starting to flatten out is kind of the plan. That's
what I do. I tend to start out like 5 days out, and I'll do higher, lower, and then go into the show like that.
Yeah.
So I had a really bad experience with a traditional carb up early on in my bodybuilding.
Was that the day before?
No, it was a traditional carb up, but with all sorts of food that I hadn't used or prep.
Oh, great, the shit. And
I ended up constipated, like severely constipated, to the point where I couldn't shit for the show. And then from that show on, I've always done shitloads. So the key takeaway from that, obviously, is if you're going to carb up, use the same foods that you've used all through prep. You don't take the risk. And in the past, my carbs have gone to like zero, always gone to just zero, like weeks and weeks and weeks out, which is just stupid, because it was just something that I was always trying to get myself to zero, which is stupid, because if you're a super heavyweight bodybuilder, in reality, 50 or 100 grams is pretty much zero. But anyone really, 50 grams, unless you're a fucking bikini girl. Yeah.
Which I am.
Yeah, which I am at the weekends, maybe. My thing is if you start higher, you can, and then obviously you fuck it up and you spill, you still have time to rectify that.
That's why like, doing it early, like you said, get full, and then I've spilt, clean it up, like, and then go, okay, do like a lower day, and then gauge it, and like, we want to keep this or let it go down a little bit. Like Dorian said, I'd rather come a little bit flat and sharp than full and soft. I think that is
that off like cheat meals. Remember, like if you've had a cheat meal or a high carb day, and then like the day after you look pretty watery, and then the day after that you look fucking great. And I was like, oh, okay, because everybody used to carb up, like start at like say 500, then go 600, then go 700, and then pull, and you'd be like, fuck, I don't know if it's going to work. I hope I take a quarter Diazan and wake up shredded. And it just used to, like, especially with clients, I can't afford to risk that. You can't afford to risk it. I'd rather be seeing you coming in nice and steady. And the client as well, obviously, as they see themselves get drier, they get more and more confidence.
Yeah, I've had some Yeah, I mean, I generally if they're bigger guys, and we'll see how Johnny mentally deals with this if we go down this route. I spill them on purpose.
Yeah.
So I've had people on the phone be like, "It's fucked. We fucked. The whole thing's fucked." And I'm like, "Mate, just hold on for 2 days, man. Hold on for 2 days." But yeah, I've had a few. Yeah, that's it. You fucked it.
The worst one with clients is when they go to the hotel room and there's no fucking good lighting. And it's like, I look wank, I'm not doing it. I fucking smashed the hotel room up. I owe 400 quid. And I'm like, just go to this mirror or go to this window or go to get some fucking light. And like, oh, fuck yeah, I look good. I was like, fuck for that. Shut up. Mental, innit? Bodybuilding, in a nutshell.
101, don't do it.
Yeah, bodybuilding, just stop.
Just stop.
Hybrid, become a hybrid.
We had an agenda, didn't we, for what was the next thing we were going to do? The Arnold's. Well, we're going to do news. The first bit of news is obviously fucking Boston Lloyd died, didn't he? Which I'm going to say isn't a massive surprise if I was going to pick someone. I mean, what his whole thing was, he was going to show what happens when you do super extreme doses of drugs, and I mean, he proved his point. Like, no, that is what happens.
It's true. Yeah, it's not. It's just facts, isn't it? That's the way it is. But
I didn't think he needed to demonstrate with his life necessarily, but he stayed true to himself, and I respect that. So, all right, for you.
The issue is notoriety and his publicity purely came from that. Nobody would even know who Boston Lloyd was without that. So there's pros and cons, I guess. Even potentially have set his family up with some money or whatever.
Yeah, but his family would rather be there.
Well, of course. But then if he'd done that in the quiet and publicized it and just did it anyway, the public forum he put it in is what gave him the platform in which he was coming from.
It was the only thing. I think it's a very extreme version of, like, if you're setting out to do this journey.
I don't think he even set out for the publicity on that front. I think it sounds really bad. I think he's just a drug addict. In reality, like, he just loved pushing the drugs, which I don't understand personally, but I don't know whether he felt like he needed it or whether it was just fucking exciting to him or whether it was an experience or whatever it was. But there must be some sort of element of, we all just spoke about the worst thing is jabbing. We hate it. And when you're putting that much shit in yourself every single day, there's got to be some sort of addiction to it.
So the difficult thing, really, I think, is that whenever you do something, and if you get what you would interpret as a positive response from that, if he's putting out there that he's doing a little bit too much, and all of a sudden then he gets a bit of notoriety and a bit of publicity and whatever from that, the next one, he has to be a bit more shocking, doesn't it? So he has to, and then you're building, in you, and where'd you go? You have to just keep going up to the point where people are like, it has to be shocking. So I think,
like, the opposite of being a fake natty.
Yeah, he's like the bodybuilding Kanye West. Literally. Fucking idiot. No,
yeah, I mean,
rest in peace and all that jazz, but it's just, I just think it just sends such a bad message. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, to be honest,
this most recent one that essentially probably contributed mostly to his death, obviously along with all the other stuff, but this other one he claimed was he took a peptide that hadn't been researched that fucked his kidneys up. But if you didn't know about it, why was he trialing it at higher dosages?
Got to try it somewhere.
But the thing is, as well, is the risk reward. He's not making hundreds of thousands of pounds a year off his physique. It might be off coaching, but he's not making £100,000. He's not sponsored by massive companies to have a great physique. He might have a following. So why the fuck would you think, you know what, I'll just inject this peptide that nobody knows about? There's no actual, he's just a guinea pig. But that's why I think it was somewhat like an addiction. I know it sounds stupid. It's got to be something.
No, I think that you're right. If like you said, if you get a positive outcome, even if it's psychological, it's not real, then you can be addicted to that thing. That outside force. The mentality of an addict is someone who can take an outside force and think they can change how they feel inside with it. That's basically like the mentality of an addict. But yeah, I mean, like you said, he wasn't a great bodybuilder, so why?
Do you feel like say even like JP, his rise to where he was at was kind of the same thing. It was kind of like he was pushing these high, he'll admit it, only like 6 gram of gear, pushing these high dosages. And that kind of gave him that popularity. Luckily, he had a lot of knowledge behind him, and obviously he's a good coach and he do so and so on. But like that kind of like projected him into the limelight, didn't it?
But you also had an incredible physique. It wasn't
Yeah,
winning.
yeah, of course,
It
yeah.
wasn't winning loads and loads of shows, but it felt like, oh, like it did something. Whereas Boston genetically was never going to have a something that looked like someone who does loads of drugs. He looked kind of like a normal kind of drug user. Like, you wouldn't look at Boston and be like, he's the guy who does the most shit. You wouldn't look at him and think that's the guy, would you?
No, it's, why do you think people are attracted to these people though? Why do you think they find it like people love him? Like they literally think he's great. Do you think it's because they think everybody else is lying about their dosages and he's the only honest one?
Well, it's the controversy as well, because like he had a ding dong with Ryan Crowley, didn't he? Boston Lloyd.
And Jamie DeRago, that was something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So there's a massive ding dong. So like I think he just craved that controversy that put him in the limelight, even if it was for the wrong reasons.
That's what I mean. He's like the Kanye West of bodybuilding, literally. He literally just needed that attention, like all the time, like to feed. He was all saying he wasn't bodybuilding, but he just needed his ego feeding, I feel. It was like always ego-driven sort of stuff. And it's like, it's not, when you're messing with chemicals and obviously drugs and hormones, you can't really take them lightly and just keep injecting them and thinking you're going to be fucking invincible. I look at my back, for fuck's sake. Put it
it's
out.
like so. It's like anything. I tried saying this to my missus the other day, right? She was contemplating taking prescription drugs for her skin, right? Because she has skin and she's a bit, like a woman is, and she was through prep. Her skin gets a little bit worse. So it's like anything. So if you're naive enough to think that you get something for free, then all the fool you. If you take something that's going to give you a positive result, somewhere along the line, chances are there will be a negative. So you've got to consider that. You can't just go, well, I can't feel them right now, so they don't exist. If us three are sat here now and we're thinking nothing we're doing right now is going to take anything away from our lives, and well, no, we've made peace with that. We've made a decision, and at some point, whilst we do it as responsibly as we can, at some point later in our life, there is a chance something could bite us in the ass. But then we have to understand that we made peace with that decision at one point in our life.
Well, weighed it up.
Yeah.
Like, wait. Oh, I don't like. That's the thing. It's what like Boston Oil. Like, you're doing all the stuff. Well, how come I'm better bodybuilding than you? Like, what was the point?
That's what I mean. I didn't understand the risk. I didn't understand that there was no reward.
So like my reward is a certain amount. Certainly not taking anywhere near the amount of risk that he is. I do actually go for annual heart checks. I try and do it the best I can. But yeah, I'm not living in a delusional world. For every action is a reaction. And some people deal with those reactions better than others. But when you're actually just going, fuck you, at all of them, like, I mean, he must have been on a permanent cycle since, when did he first pop up? Like 10 years ago? Because he started, he was, I'm going to document a bodybuilding journey. And it wasn't a bodybuilding journey. It was just him, like, doing everything, like synthol, GH stuff. And he was one of the first guys who put it out there. So, I mean, yeah, that was his contribution. Yeah, just the outcome. Anyone to die at that age is horrific. I don't care whether you like him or hate him.
Oh, that's the thing as well. I think what's upsetting as well is that he obviously took a step back, and he tried to take a step back from bodybuilding because he'd had kids and wanted to just focus on his family, and then
it was too late.
Fucking too late. And that's, I think, the only thing people can take away from it is hello.
Whoa,
right, I'm here. As much as my halo. I think the only thing people can take away from it is just not to do massive fucking dosages and think that you're going to survive everything, and that's clever.
I think that's linked as well to having realistic expectations about what you can actually achieve. And there is, even if you did all of the drugs in the whole world, there's still a maximum amount of tissue that you could put on in a year, and there's nothing that can change that. That's your genetic disposition, and try and figure out what the absolute lowest is. Anyway, that's enough about him. R.I.P. to a young man who fucked it up. No one should die at that age. It's horrific. The other thing was that, has anyone seen a picture of Rowley Winkler recently, and is it real?
I've not seen it. Get it up, Johnny.
Look,
I think I screenshotted it actually to
Pull
put
it
it on
up.
the. Yeah, I did. I screenshotted it. I'll put it on the thing now. I don't know whether you can get it up. If I put it on Instagram, can you get it up, Johnny?
yeah, man.
Let me do that then. See, I saw this, but I don't know whether it's fucking real.
I actually worked with Roller Winkler on BSN years ago. And you know when you're just like looking at someone and you think, how the fuck is that real?
Yeah.
And he literally was like, he had to sign photos and he wanted to obviously make people pay for them. And the guys at BSN was like, no, Roller, you can't make them pay. And he's like, no, it's my image, I'll make them pay. And there was a massive argument. And all he kept saying to me, we're going to heat my food up. We heat my food up. I was like, Rolly, I'm not going to walk to the other side of the fucking NEC to heat your food up and come back. He just fucking stormed off, left everybody, just didn't even care. He was like, I'm not even attending this expo anymore. Fucked off. Fuck, fair play, bro. Crack on.
I would have probably just heated his food up.
Nah, I didn't bother. Nah, it's.
Do you reckon that's bollocks?
No,
Someone said that that's him on the left now.
Him now?
That's what someone said.
Is he not? Is he not fucking training or what?
I don't know. So are we going to say that's a lie?
I don't know.
I would say so. Let me see if I can find this page.
Well, next up, well, if you know, drop it in the comments.
Oh, I like that. Bit of interaction. I like it.
Drop it in the comments if you know. The other one is Cedric McMillan pulled out of the Arnolds, which we didn't actually mention, I think, about him actually being in there. So that didn't actually really affect how we thought that was going
to be. What do you think of Cedric's physique? Well, his old physique.
Well, generally, I mean, he won the Arnolds at one point, didn't he?
Yeah, he was I thought he was very good. I just think, how old is he now? Got to be in his late 40s, mid 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's probably just getting fucking bored of it, tired of it, isn't he?
Well, he still works, like, in the military, like, doing real shit, doesn't he? Like, on aircraft carriers and stuff like that.
Just in Ukraine, on his own. The Klitschko. Him and Klitschko.
Yeah.
He's been offered opportunities, though, to go full-time bodybuilding. He just refused. So I don't really know, like, where'd you go from there? You know, he's had the opportunity to see if he could really maximize. And it's just like...
I mean, I don't know, maybe... I mean, I think he's obviously a genetic anomaly. Like, I've met him in real life, and he is absolutely massive.
Yeah, he's freaky, isn't he?
Like, it doesn't really... But for some reason, it doesn't quite convey on stage when you see everyone else, but he is outrageous. And he's tall as well. He's probably about my height, maybe a little bit less, but he's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, well, he's like the fifth person to pull out, isn't he?
Yeah, there's been quite a few, hasn't there?
Yeah, so pull it up. These are the guys who are in the running at the moment for the win. And I would probably add Samson to the mix in terms of potentially top three, maybe not the win. But these guys, I think, are the guys that are going to occupy the top spots alongside Samson.
I like buys and tries as like just as put in Team Grimes and Team. Oh, it's a question, right? Okay. Oh, he was just playing both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Brandon's gonna smoke it, but it's these fucking pictures everyone has done in Q8 that just you can never fucking know.
But
I don't mind Brett Wilkin when he did that show earlier last year. He looked amazing. Like, I think this guy's gonna. Oh, that's a video.
What do you think Matt is doing with these guys realistically to make them progress this much? Because if you look at like Nick, you look at him, you look at Justin. Is it Justin Shear? His name. All them guys in 18 months have just literally ate themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing, or he's doing something right.
He's definitely doing something right. You do see these like guys, and somehow they just jump. Did
you see that Brett Wilkins when he was in Classic 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
Yeah, he was like nothing.
It's fuck all, and it's just like now 240, 250, just
yeah.
60 coming into this, apparently.
Do you think it's just the fact that like they were doing that and they had no idea, and then they are actually genetic anomalies, and then it just happened that they got Matt And he went, oh, this is how you actually do it. And they're like, oh, fuck, this is how you do it. I didn't even know that you had to go to the gym. And then they just...
Yeah, possibly. Or it could be like down to like, obviously as they turn pro and then they can leave the lifestyle a little bit more and put more into it, and obviously financially a little bit better.
Yeah, I think removing that stress factor of like potentially like people having a job and stuff that's stressful. Like, and people always quote Ronnie like, oh, he had a job and stuff like that, but Ronnie didn't seem to act like he gave a shit about it, did he?
You can't compare anything to Ronnie. Do you get what I mean?
No, but just even from I think it's just a frame of mind, isn't it? Like Ronnie just rolled through.
I like the job.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the job.
And I didn't think he still was chilled. Do you know what I mean?
Do you remember him saying the reason he liked the job? Because he let him wear shorts.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
At home, Ronnie. You don't have to wear leggings all the time.
Yeah, I do remember that on his video, and he's sat there, and they're having some debrief that he's definitely ignoring, and he's just fanning himself with obviously like the briefing letters, just like going. And he's got those shorts, and they're not short. They're hot pants, aren't they? Yeah. They're not.
They're like the Gasp hot pants that everybody wears in photo shoots, aren't they?
Yeah. Definitely. He's that guy that they should have sacked 10 years ago, but it's too late, so they've just left him.
Yeah, he's obviously a really strong member of the union.
He's obviously just a greedy cunt. He's got all the money in the world and just sat there just fucking still earning money off the police.
Yeah.
What's his pension, probably? That's what it was.
Oh, mate, to be fair, it's probably doing him pretty well right about now. In fact, he's got the medical. He'll have the police medical. Yeah. It's all just paying for his spine. Yeah, I've seen some Samson shit recently, and it's fucking nuts. I'm still a little bit annoyed with his missus for this film work, but
the hamstrings and glutes.
Oh, mate, for the shot from the back here was what got me.
He's actually, I think he's from the Arnolds. I'm sure he's £10 up, isn't he? £10 up from the Arnolds.
I probably sounds bad of me saying it, but I've watched him train and I just don't know how.
Yeah. This is what I was going to ask you as well. What you guys thought with like Milos, like now he's not reinventing the wheel, but bringing his style in of doing loads of giant sets and so on. Like, but how the fuck are these guys growing?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it gets to a certain point where you have that like kind of muscular strength, and then like the hyperplasia thing you can play with more. I don't know. Chris Jones is a decent guy, old school bodybuilder. He trains hard and stuff. And then I've basically seen him like just executing basically what Milos would be doing and kind of overseeing that philosophy. I don't know whether he does that with other people. I mean, maybe I'll try it when I'm like, oh, I'm fucked, I'm not training anymore. I'll try and just do like loads of giant sets and see if it works. Obviously, Jamie Johow's like doing it now. I mean, Jamie's been continuously kind of improving anyway, so it's hard to tell what's happened until he.
And that's the thing with Samson, I think, because of his genetics and his trajectory in general. Like you saying, it's down to the training system, or we saying that it probably would have happened anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Is it just a stimulus that's hard that the body's it's just a stimulus? You know, the only thing about the training that it needs to be is hard.
Do you think it lends itself to using, like I've quoted Milos in podcasts, like he uses like 20 IUs of Slin pre and then 20 IUs, or twice a day sometimes, like 80 IUs of Slin a day.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, but they were on Foad's podcast and he was talking about like the key to muscle gain is nutrient flushing, basically using insulin and huge amounts of intracarbohydrates up to like fucking like 400 grams or something completely stupid. But how much water would you have to drink to actually absorb that? Like you'd have to drink like a gallon of water whilst training. And then you look actually at what creates muscles and it's kind of, it's basically mechanical tension.
Do you feel like as well, it's harsh to say, but I'm sure he became skint, didn't he? And then now he's come back into the bodybuilding scene. He's handling Regan and he's like literally day on with him all the time. And then he's got Samson and it's like, you need something to sell. You need this idea to sell. It's like, that works because he's using, everybody's going to get swollen, look fucking, and add 25 pounds. If you're doing 80 IUs of insulin and taking 400 grams of carbohydrates intra, you're going to get glycogen fullness.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. I think he's just looking for something to sell personally.
You just got to think about what's happening to those intestines, though. Like glycogen uptake is not just in the muscles, and the insulin response is not just in the muscle. Do you know what I mean? It's all well and good, everybody thinking of these extremes, but we're coming back to the whole Boston Lloyd thing.
This is what I don't understand as well, is he literally says Lantus is absolutely dog shit and shouldn't be used, but then which will obviously give you insulin throughout the day, but then we'll use it at each meal sometimes at Nova Rapid. And I'm like, doesn't make any sense. It, like, from what he says, it just doesn't have any sense. I just think he's like, this is what I used to do. And I think, but you wasn't.
See, that's the other thing, is that I don't think he did used to do it. That's my other thing, is that he might have done a version of this.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that was fucking. I think he was doing 80 IU of insulin every day, and like, I don't think that was actually happening.
I don't think so either. I think as well, what happens is everyone has these golden athletes who are great, who are like fucking absolute freaks, and then everybody feels like if they go to him, he'll make them into that freak. But realistically, he's just I think Patrick did it as well. He had some great guys on board, and then just couldn't handle the amount of people that came through to try and emulate these guys. But he would literally message James. Well, from what James said, message him every single day. You can't do that with every single client. You can only do that with your top ranked Olympians. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people are expecting the same results. It's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I'm still not sold. I was still sold on the even just for intra, and I was talking to people about this as well. The John Meadows kind of thing was like, if I put some intra in, then basically I don't need to rush home and eat immediately. Like, that was like, I pretty much see it as like, are you going to really absorb, even if it's like cluster dextrin? Like, is it all going to be absorbed during your session? Like, each sip just pumping into your muscle immediately? That's not actually happening, even if you're using insulin. Like, you could put it all in just before you train, and then it might start catching, but your meal that you ate like an hour before is still digesting. So the idea that you can sip in between sets and somehow that's just immediately going to start pumping into your muscle. I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure that's not a real thing.
I think most coaches, nobody, like you say, nobody likes just basics. They want the secret, and there is no fucking secret. You've either got it or you haven't.
It's a good window if you're eating loads of food. Intra is a good window to get some more in, because you're wasting time training when you could be eating. That's pretty much how I approach it. And why would you create gastric stress during that time? So why not have pre-digested protein in way of EAAs and some basically cluster dextrin that's going to absorb without any gastric stress? For me, that's kind of as deep as it gets. And I get a lot of questions. You can tell when someone's made a new post because your phone blows up and people are like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, well, exactly what I've always thought about it, because I don't pay too much attention to the kind of flowing trends, because I've kind of worked out my own methodology of shit that works.
I think that's what it is as well. It's something to sell. It's the Y3T, the FST7s. Do
you remember FST7? I will grow your fascia. No,
you won't. Yeah. But they just needed something, like, because they had Phil Heath or like Henny, everybody. He just needed something to package it and be like, this is the secret.
Well, here's the thing. What were the pioneering? What was the actual pioneering, like the actual training methods that were quite different? Because DC was quite innovative, wasn't it?
I like DC, to be fair.
Yeah,
I really liked it, because, and
actually a lot of I know Luke Hollingshead and JP were all DC monsters to start out with. That was their thing. And it wasn't actually Dante Trudel who came up with DC, was it? Although he was pinpointed as
the guy who came up with it.
The guy who came up with it. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was past.
The guy's in Westside Barbell, wasn't it?
I can't remember his name, but he was the guy who kind of made it famous. Just in the kind of the same way that Mike Metzer actually didn't invent HIIT training.
Yeah, it was. Who was it?
See, I'm shit with names because I just love Mike Metzer, so I just say his name over and over again.
Dorian.
Yeah, Dorian. So obviously, the high intensity training was pioneering, because the only training was you do more training, you do lots more training, and then the DC was frequency over volume, which made sense and stuff. But since then, basically, we're just stirring that porridge pot round and round again.
Yeah, and then just adding a new name to it.
And calling it new stuff. And the amount of arguments I see on Instagram about semantics, it's like literally, it's just the way someone says something is different. And
yeah, like a mesocycle, a microcycle.
Yeah, micro meso is just like, oh, a period of time.
Yeah. Or train.
Yeah. It's like, like a goal, basically, a mesocycle.
Yeah. I think that's what I mean. They just dress it up in a different way to then sound more intelligent or just to sell it.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Which is fair enough. I need to obviously do that to myself. I'm going to figure out my own training method.
What are you going to call it, Dan?
Actually, no, I have coined my own thing. This is patented. Yeah, it's called the shit principle. Yeah. And so when I talk about people contracting the muscle, I say contract the muscle for the amount of time it takes you to say shit. So if you're doing a leg extension, I say you go up, shit, and then come down to own the static. I've called it the shit principle. So obviously I completely invented it.
Obviously.
It's never been done before.
No.
I didn't.
The dog crap name though. Shit, dog crap, no.
No, see, I invented it. I invented actual dog crap. I was the first guy. I saw an animal doing a poo and I was like, we're going to call that dog crap. And they were like, my God, you're a hero. Let's train legs.
Stuff like that always hurts my head. I think, who named everything? And why is it called that?
Yeah, but you can get so deep. Like,
I know, it hurts.
That's like a fucking
normally when I'm on psychedelics and I'm like, what is this? Like, why is it called a tree? Because
why do we have a Germanic language?
Yes.
Why?
Bullshit.
Well,
give them all the easy words.
Yeah. Hippopotamus.
Oh, we did the competition winner.
No, we haven't even done our predictions. Let's do our predictions.
For what? For Arnold's?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
So I'm going to just say Brandon is going to win.
That's it. No top 5 or top 3. Top 3. Do top 3. Is Bonac still in it?
No.
Is he not?
I don't think so.
No, he pulled out.
He pulled out. Pussy. Sorry.
I
feel you, Bonac. I've been there, bro. I've been there.
Same. Exactly the same physique.
I reckon Bonac had the same thing as me. Like, I haven't got enough muscle. I don't think that was the same as it.
Yeah.
I don't think Bonac sat there and thought, I haven't got enough muscle.
Yeah. My delts just aren't really popping this year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Brandon, Brett Wilkin. I'm going to put a wild card in there. I'm going to put Samson third.
That's exactly what I would say, Johnny.
Yeah.
Regan fourth. Justin fifth. And Steve, whatever his last name, the big
Kuklo.
Kuklo. Steve, though, big respect. He's pulled some shit out of the bag recently because he was fading around, wasn't he, for a while. And over the past few years, he's pulled some stops.
When he was younger, he came in and everyone was like, he was like a Regan, wasn't he? He was the next big thing. Yeah. And then I don't know what happened to him. He just fucking went off the radar.
Yeah, and then he's making a comeback. Isn't he like 40?
Yeah, but he got beat last year, didn't he, by
Nick Walker.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, even he pulled his positions back later, and I thought it was impressive. I liked watching it.
Yeah, the problem with Steve, I find, is he doesn't have the deep separation that everyone else has got. He's like a big guy, and he's in condition. If we look at him, his separations look really shallow.
Yeah, but Drake Cutler had that, really. Let's be honest. We'll let him off. But yeah, the top 3, I'm with you, 100%. The only reason that Samson would be pushed lower is if they still think he hasn't paid his dues or he somehow fucks it up.
The only thing, hopefully, just doesn't fade, because at the actual Arnold's in the UK, he was winning. He was beating Nathan. He didn't get dry. He didn't get dry. He just got water. He literally just spilled over, didn't he? As he was posing, Nathan got drier and drier.
That's one thing I don't understand with Samson, because he drills his posing like daily. He does it.
Sweating like no tomorrow, wasn't
he? Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah, he was. He does actually sweat quite a lot on the stage.
It took away from his look, didn't it? Because all of a sudden everyone's like, "Oh, he's not dry," and it's like, "Yeah, but that doesn't, because he's sweating doesn't mean he's not dry."
I mean, he is physically wet.
Yeah,
but that's not actually what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's moist, physically moist.
Yeah, so I think we are in agreement of the top 3 predictions.
Yeah.
And if we win, should we give ourselves a prize?
Mm-hmm. What should it be?
Another Christmas special
Yeah.
at Trojan?
Human centipede.
Yes. The human triangle. I reckon the prize should be we get Geraint on and bum him. Get him back. One night special.
Mm-hmm.
Bum him.
Tick again.
What was the other one?
Somebody did put that as a recommendation in our thing. Get all the previous guests on and just roast fucking.
Well, just go back through all of them. Start. Well, yeah, I mean,
bring them back on one by one and just execute them live. And then
Like a Royal Rumble. Like a Royal Rumble of podcast.
yeah, that'd be amazing. Invite them all to the same one, but like a minute after each other.
Yeah.
And then just like, yeah, you fucking can't hang up, and then just like next one, just all the way through them. Just make sure just burn all of the bridges. The competition winner, someone won, didn't they?
They did.
So a hand grenade is coming to your house soon.
What I will do is I will put it as a snapshot in here, but it was on the Instagram live that we did, wasn't it? And
Ryan, we did Instagram live, mate.
How did it go?
It was live.
Was it?
So
we maxed out at a mind-boggling 30 viewers.
yeah, there was
Not bad.
30 viewers. I don't know how many people watched it afterwards, so we must be up to like 34.
34.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Oh, we got a new intro as well, gents.
Oh yeah, we've got the new intro. Oh, also, well, last time I wanted to introduce the segment of Roider of the Week.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, me and Ryan recorded a podcast that you hurt your back, which means that you can't share stuff on the internet, obviously. So that never happened.
Your mum.
That was.
Just shared your mum. Just shared your mum on the internet. It's fine.
That's all right. She's already there. Hashtag blessed. Just look it up. So I think that that Roider of the Week this week should be Craig Titus.
Oh, Craig.
Give us a summary on the Craig. I know the Craig Titus story, probably not as well as you do, so I think you should.
But do you know the Craig Titus story, Ryan?
No, I don't. So
do you know? So Craig Titus, 90s bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Going in for the Olympia. Look him up. This is a true story, and I just want to educate people on some hero. So Craig Titus obviously liked to mix his steroids with Nubane and crystal meth, which I hear is a Boston Lloyd level type of shit idea. Like, I don't know, but try it out.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Yeah. So anyway, him and his missus were into some kind of stuff, and the maid got involved. They're having some kind of on and off meth orgy or something, like you do, when you
casual Wednesday. What do you know? Rest day. What else are you meant to do?
Yeah, exactly. Because it gets pretty boring. You're like, oh no, reps in reserve. I bet there's some meth. And so they were doing that, and then I think maybe the wife got jealous, or maybe she gave shit head or something. But anyway, they decided to kill her.
The maid and him.
Just the maid.
Well, they decided to kill the maid, not his wife.
Yeah. Which actually, you would think it would be the other way, right? Would so that they could.
Stupid thing to do, because who's going to clean your house?
Well, they could run away together. Yeah, I mean that is the initial stupid idea, but the real stupid idea is going to become apparent very soon.
Okay, sorry.
So they killed her. They lived in Vegas, so they drove her out into the desert. There's fucking no one's going to find you in the desert, are they?
No.
So you could dig a hole. Probably no one's going to find you unless there's a dog digs up the remains or whatever. Mm-hmm. No one's going to find you unless you decide to dispose of the body by setting it on fire. So in the middle of the Arizona desert, they decided to create a flaming beacon of attention in the form of their maid, which then obviously alerted a kind of a state trooper that was 30,000 miles away or whatever. I wonder who then went to go and see what this fire was, and it was their maid. and then arrested them both for murder, and they're due for release in, I think, next year. So maybe we can
making
have...
a comeback. Is he making a comeback?
He is.
Second invite.
Road back to pro.
What's this?
This is pro type.
Yeah, mate, he was fucking... He was...
We are doing something wrong. We need some meth and some fucking new
Exactly.
Fucking young guy.
Look, yeah, accomplice plea, pleaded guilty. Oh, someone got probation. I don't know that.
55 years.
Oh.
Yeah. To two consecutive terms. Yeah. So I don't know how it was second degree. What can be more thirsty?
What about like the cooking temperature of the maid?
Okay. Like a
Fahrenheit.
Like a gas Mark II.
Gas Mark 10. Pre-workout. Go and buy it.
Maybe he's claiming that she was cold and he meant to warm her up, but accidentally cooked her. So second degree murder.
What is the difference between first and second degree murder? I don't really know.
I thought it was intent.
Well, I mean, isn't it? If you don't mean to kill them, isn't it manslaughter?
Yeah, but I don't think they have manslaughter in America. I think that's the difference. Like, it's manslaughter and murder here. I think it's first degree and second degree in America. I'm sure it is.
So how can he have not meant to kill her, having killed her and then set her on fire? Providing he not managed to kill her the first time, he hadn't managed. He accidentally killed her. Say that accident didn't happen, and then drove her and then set fire to her. You'd think the margin for error on those two occasions was like.
But then it probably go down to whether she was dead before they set her on fire.
Yeah, but I think if you took those two things and I wonder if killing her and setting fire, if we take both of those, likelihood of survival small. So I would say there's probably some intent there.
There's a guy I know, just a guy, and he crashed a car with a guy in it, and he was dead. And he said he knew he was dead, and he only got really done for the murder because he actually set the car on fire. He set the car on fire and ran off because he panicked. He was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Set it on fire, ran off, and the guy they didn't know if he was dead or not. And he said, well, it didn't matter because you set him on fire. He's fucking dead, so you murder. Yeah.
So this doesn't clarify anything. The main differences are the severity of the crime itself and the severity of the punishment received. First-degree murders are the more serious and punished accordingly, involving premeditated murder and intentional murder. Second-degree murders are next step down, but still involve intent to harm or kill.
I don't understand how you can make a worse murder than killing someone and setting fire to them. Obviously there are levels to that, but I'd say that was up there. Yeah.
Does it come down to whether it was premeditated though?
No, it says both of them in intent. So maybe they were having a methy orgy and he hadn't thought the day before, let's have a methy orgy and kill her. It just was a methy orgy, and then just a spur of the moment, I'm coming up a bit too hard, let's kill her. Okay.
How did she die?
Well, she was killed to death.
Set on fire to death.
She was killed to death.
Killed to death.
Yeah.
And then
if you was terminally ill and you knew you was going to die, would you try meth?
Mate, I'm up for it anyway.
Up for it anyway.
Yeah, if I have if I have a bit of a boring Sunday, a hard day at work, and it's there.
Do meth before the podcast.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, the viewers get to decide.
We do a roulette.
Yeah.
You'll have to replace that crack pipe of yours.
Never getting rid of that. So many memories. Did we have any questions from last week?
We did kind of answer them. But that one didn't get aired, so I guess we should really go back over them, although they were pretty shit questions, to be fair.
Let's fire them off. We've got 10 minutes, I reckon.
Okay, hold on, let's do it. Right. First one, do you think the winner of the 2-1-2 Open and the winner of the 2-1-2 and the Open should have a call out at the big shows?
Oh yeah, we had this on the live, didn't we? And I just said no.
Why not?
Why? Because that's going backwards. We already had both of them in separate divisions, in the same division, and now we have separate. Why would we then? I think it would just demote it would then you're only Mr. Olympia if you win the absolute overall Olympia. I like having two.
Yeah, but you also add, if they did this in 2018, do you think Flex Lewis would have beaten Roden?
No.
Joe Rogan.
You know.
No, I don't think he would have. What do you think? Like, just a side thing of that. Do you think Flex will compete again?
I don't know. It's like when everyone says, "Yeah, he's doing the thing," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's been like 4 times now."
He keeps getting injured, doesn't he?
It's been 4 times. I mean, he keeps being injured, and then I see photos and think this doesn't look like an injured human.
Yeah, he still looks massive, but like in reality, does he need to compete again?
No.
I think you can only lose really, because if he doesn't win the actual, if he does the Open and then doesn't do that well, people will remember him for that.
I wouldn't do it. It's not worth the risk. It would be like, yeah, you're right. There's the chances of him winning are like potential, but the risk of being he's the greatest 212 ever to live.
Yeah,
hang your trunks up.
And I think people being able to say, no, I could stand in the Open. He could stand in the Open. If he does it, it's definitive. He fails, they're like, nah, he was never going to be good enough in the Open. It's like Lee Priest as well, isn't it? Like, so yeah.
No, but Lee Priest was at a time where it was everyone anyway.
Yeah, but obviously everybody says he could have been better now, in this day and age with the 212.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's probably like fair.
I think this question's coming from that Sean Clarida winning the Open, that Open show, wasn't it? Qualifying for both.
But
what the fuck did he do over the last 2? Like, the most recent picture of him is fucking outrageous.
But you think about it, when he's that short, if he puts like £3 on, it looks like fucking £30 on his frame.
Yeah, it's just a freak, isn't he?
He is a fucking freak.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because he was so small when he started the actual Olympia. Like, he competed and got like dead last at like 160 pounds or something. Mad. And now he's 170 pounds and looks crazy.
So yeah, I don't know. And the thing we did talk about on the podcast, I liked doing the challenge round. I liked seeing the challenge rounds. I think bring the challenge rounds back.
Just make
they were good. They were good, but then like the guys would just call them out on body parts where they know they could smoke them.
That's the name of the game.
I know it's the whole idea, but then it was pointless. Like, you would know before they even hit the pause who'd won it. It would be like, it's a game of.
Yeah, it wasn't about who won it. It was just watching it.
Yeah,
it was just I think that it was more. It was interesting. And I don't know. It's like it was a bit more to watch. I feel like some of the past Olympias feel like they've just. How fast can we get through them? It has felt like that, like just absolute steaming through. Like, what? Maybe have 2 Olympia weekends, one for female, one for males. I don't know. Like, it felt like they were just ripping through everything, like your average fucking PCO show. Just like it must be done. And I understand like that sort of regimented execution needs to happen, but it comes for like a spit. Or they do like an interlude where like someone comes and does a talk. Like, fuck off. Like, do a like.
What do you bench and that's it?
Yeah, like just I want to see someone come on like fucking rip both their arms off doing a deadlift in the interval. I want to see like a challenge round.
Yeah.
Oh, the one thing I wanted to say about the Flex Lewis thing as well is like you remember when Lavroni came back.
Yeah, it was just.
Or Lavrone. Like it was like, oh, like,
yeah,
you're like my hero, and now like,
yeah, you just fucking.
Like, why did you do it? I mean, it was pretty annoying that he probably could have turned pro like at 50, and it like, yeah, and do all right.
And he can play the guitar better than you.
Yeah, yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know.
And I think the only thing that let Kevin Lavrone down was his legs, wasn't it? Really. And that his legs just never came back. But at 50, I mean, you can't really judge him on that.
No, I just think like you've done so well. You're an icon. Like, did it need to happen?
Yeah, well, obviously for me, it feels like for him. It put his name in people's mouths again, didn't it? It served its purpose. I think for him it was a financial thing really as well, and getting himself back as making himself relevant in these days. I suppose we forget that he isn't
relevant these days because he's such an icon for us. He never left our minds. But like some people now in the gym don't even know who Dorian Yates is.
No, it's crazy, isn't it?
Like, so, yeah, it's weird. It's also weird because like when I started training, I still did know like everyone that had come before.
I had this the other day, actually. A young lad was starting prep, and I was like, yeah, so like Dorian. He's like, who's Dorian? I wanted to punch him in the face. I was like, you're going to prep for a bodybuilding show, but you don't know who Dorian Yates is. It's like they like the idea of the prep, and they just want to put it in the bio, and they've just not actually looked at any bodybuilding footage or any bodybuilding at all. And they're just like, I'm going to do a show. Like,
they've just looked at their own Instagram. That's what happened.
No, I think they've just seen people on YouTube and been like, oh, yeah, he's great and he's amazing. Have you seen this guy? I'm like, he weighs about 11 stone. Fuck him off. It's true though, isn't it? Like, you know, these guys who are just great. The thing is, they're just great at editing. So they make really cool videos and are fucking great, well done. But doesn't mean you're a great bodybuilder. You know what I mean?
I had one in the gym the other day, right? My cousin started training. He's like, you know, late 30s. He started coming to the gym and he said, oh, I had a conversation with my missus and she said she doesn't want me to get as big as you, John. I went, don't worry, you won't.
Yeah. Fucking nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're going to be all right there. Starting training in your first year at 39, you'll be all right. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah. What's the next question? Any questions? Any more?
Yeah, there are more. So the next one was about the smoking thing.
What?
In your opinions, experience, and how severe are the effects of smoking cigarettes on muscle development, reduced oxygen levels, affected performance, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, we had this already. Like, you don't get something for nothing. Like, if you enjoy smoking, you're like you said, reduce oxygen levels and performance, and instead of your body getting the nutrients that it wants, some of it will be a drug and carcinogens. It's not rocket science that's not a great idea. Could you still be a great bodybuilder and smoke? Yeah, probably. Could you have been a little bit better if you didn't? Yeah, probably as well. And you might die.
Wasn't there a craze at one point though for taking nicotine for losing?
Yeah, nicotine gum.
It curbs cravings though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I think it's is it dopamine in it?
It releases dopamine.
Yeah, it releases dopamine to make you feel better.
Yeah, so you can chewing gum, or people, to be honest, loads of people used to just smoke on prep.
Yeah, I think it's more of a habit thing, isn't it? Where it's just something to keep you busy or something to take your mind off it or something like that.
But yeah, nicotine gum and stuff, and like chewing tobacco, like the top lip, like, yeah, it's a thing. Nicotine itself isn't that harmful, so but like, yeah, obviously smoking is a shit idea. I don't know how people that smoke weed and stuff like that's like, yeah, but it's weed, and it's like I refuse to believe that you can set fire to something and inhale the fumes of it and that not do some damage.
I really hate the fact that people, if they say to you, "Oh, do you take steroids?" and you say, "Yeah," then they go, "Oh, they're really bad for you." But then we'll sit there and be in the smoking area of a fucking club, and you're like, you're not walking around telling every person who's going to die from lung cancer being smoking, but you'll literally go to me like, "Oh my God, you're going to end your life." You know what I mean?
It's mental. It's mental though how ignorant people are. I remember going to the hospital with what they thought was suspected renal failure. Right? Renal failure. So,
not anal failure.
No, not anal failure.
Oh, laps. Sorry.
But I got rushed in, right? And it turned out it was a lower back issue, but it just radiated into my kidneys. It was an assumption they'd made based on the feedback I was giving them, etc. The assessment they made. Except I won't go into it too much. There was a nurse, right? Whilst they thought it was renal failure, they sit down and give me the talk, right? You know, the usual condescending talk. She said, "Oh, the problem is, steroids will kill you." I was like, "Right, okay. Can you explain to me?" "Oh no, I don't know the details of it, but I know they'll kill you." It's like, so, I mean, I'd like to have this conversation as a two-way conversation rather than you patronizing me. So can you please give me your understanding of why that's going to kill me? She's like, "Oh, well, no, I don't know how it really works, but
they're just bad for you." Just bad for you.
I just don't know how I'm meant to have this.
I had a nurse come up to me, and I was in a porno. No, I wasn't really. And shame. There's one time, and then she was like, "Do you take any like supplements?" I said, "No." She's like, "No, do you take any supplements?" I said, "Nope." And then she wouldn't have it that I didn't take supplements because I'm fucking massive. And then she pointed to my trap and was like, "Is this okay?" I said, "Yeah, it's fine." She went, "Well, it looks a bit swollen." I was like, "No, it's just normal. That's how the human body is." Like, I thought, who are you to really be advising me if you think a trap muscle is fucked because it's bigger than the average? It's like, oh.
Dan would have been fucked.
Exactly.
He doesn't have a neck.
Exactly.
You know, what's happened to your neck? Oh, it's neck failure.
Yeah,
Shriveled up like your penis.
You should have smoked.
Should have, yeah. Smoking's less harmful.
Should have smoked. I'm just in a different position. Oh no, that hasn't helped. No, that hasn't. Yeah, that kind of worked. That was all right. That was okay. All right, I reckon one more question. We fuck this off.
Let's do it. Right, okay. One more question being.
This is just for Ryan.
Yes.
Right, okay. So I'll go for a funny one. When I'm on test and primo, I prefer my wife. When I'm on tren and anadrol, I prefer my mistress. What do I do?
Nothing. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride.
You know, he needs to know which cycle to take.
Yeah.
There's so many different factors here. Isn't there? Are you married? Do you have a house together?
No, it's his wife. So it's either
Oh,
his
okay,
wife.
so he's white, he's married. What does she look like? You've got to understand the full picture. You can't make a judgment off that.
I think that if you could DM us some nudes of both parties so that we can review them,
Yeah.
we'll come back to you next.
We'll come on you again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll A/B them, and then we'll each time a wank over each, and then we'll be able to set your mesocycle based on the
ejaculation frequency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount of time, like, you know, in seconds will then determine like the milligram per day of each. And then depending whether it's the mistress or the wife.
Weigh exactly how much comes out as well.
Yeah, then we'll send you just all our jizz, just for no reason, actually.
Yeah. And if he wants to drink it, it's fine.
Yeah, but just for being a good sport, really.
Soggy biscuit.
Yes, soggy biscuit. So yeah, it's impossible to answer. Do both. Walk the line. It's a bit of excitement, isn't it? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Just take it all. Just take all the gear.
All of it.
There is literally no negative stories about when you just take all the gear.
Boston Mud.
Yeah, but that, yeah.
Yeah. Anomaly. It's an anomaly.
Yeah, maybe. It wasn't a real story.
That was just not even related.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. All right. Are we going to give a top tip each?
Yeah, go on.
Ryan is the most distracted, so he has to give the first one.
I was trying to Google something.
What
Literally.
did you Google? And can it be made into
Dan McNabb, and it just said absolute mong.
What does it have on images?
Wikipedia. Someone's edited your Wikipedia.
What's it like? I have a Wikipedia.
Yeah.
What does it have on images?
Should have been, but wasn't.
Born upside down.
Beaten as a child.
Oh, always, but upside down.
Why upside down? You're too tall to be upside down.
Only my genitals are ruined from the beatings. It's how I learned to cope.
Yeah.
I just called my balls my face. It got me.
From the paedophile. No, I'm not even getting into it.
Oh, it's near the end of the podcast.
I almost got through a whole podcast without having to edit anything right. Please.
You can't say pedo on a podcast.
You can. Right, anyway.
So I think the take home for top, I don't have a one for when it's only 3. What? Fuck
There you
off.
go.
Yeah, cool. So basically, you don't get something for nothing. That's mine.
It's mine.
Unless it's cheese in Asda or Tesco.
But no, you have to pay for it, you see.
No, you don't. When you're walking around and they offer you free cheese, you don't have to pay for that.
What Asda you shop in? Like fucking...
Oh, no, but you do have to pay for it because you'll probably have a loose shit later.
Oh, mate, if Johnny ate it, he'd be whinging at me through text about having liquid bum syndrome for about a month, which is what happened.
Is Johnny
last
your worst
time.
client, be honest?
At Christmas, like he ate like a cheese swirl and then like shat gravy for a month, and like No, he has migraines because he just ate one little bit of cow nipple pus. Now he's fucking dead. Now he's fucked. He has to milk chickens now to get chicken milk.
I like chickens. I'm vegetarian. Yeah.
My top tip will be I'll make sure you weigh out the positive versus negative in every situation.
I feel that's a bit of a rip-off of mine, to be honest.
No, it's not. It's competitive.
I think they're just a
my
accumulation.
top tip is up the fucking trend.
I feel like we've had that one already.
Well, I don't care. I'm saying it.
Do it again.
Oh, okay. So the first one was up the trend, and your top tip is from that point where you had already upped it.
The intensity has been upped, my son.
Then
whilst upping the trend, you need to consider if it's worth upping the trend, or whether you should lower it because it's not worth upping.
Yeah, and if you I think that actually, like, there's also like a positive correlation with the amount of trend that you take and the amount that you find,
and the length of prison sentence.
Yeah, the amount that you find street cats and homeless people attractive.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, more.
Yeah, you're just like
your woman stuff. I think it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
You ever see? There's a video going around. I've seen that on my porn hub and
on the dark web.
On the dark web.
You're gonna do it,
You're
gonna make me have to edit this now, aren't you?
No, I'm joking. I'm being good today.
Fucking bombshell, boys. Let's end that one there. I do appreciate it, boys. I know it's been a pain in the ass the last couple of weeks, so thanks for the patience.
Thank your mother for having us, hosting us.
Make sure that you buy raw products. Is that what we meant to say?
I think we certainly should say that because no one else is saying it at the moment. So leave it with us.
Yeah, I mean, at least the editing's right at the end. Thanks.
Easy now.
Take it easy, boys.